Hello. Today I uploaded some reusable articles to use in the kitchen or the bathroom, of which one of them was this reusable makeup removal pad or a little face scrubby. And I thought I would do a really quick tutorial just to get you going on how to make it so you don't have so many gaps at the beginning and the end of each round. So here we go. I normally start with what's called a magic ring or a magic circle. I think it's a normal way to begin. And I make one chain just to stabilize the ring. When the ring is stabilized, you hold onto it, and when I make my first treble, you will see that the top of that treble kind of lies almost vertically down the side of the actual stitch, and that's correct. So when you have finished putting the 12 trebles into the circle, you will notice that then you can see the difference, because that's 1, 2, and then this over here is actually also a stitch that you're going to work into. So luckily I prepared one earlier. So this is what it looks like. Those are the 12 stitches, and if you look at the top here, you'll notice that that's the second stitch. No, wait, sorry. That's the second stitch. There's the first stitch. And when you pull these, when you close the circle and you make a slip stitch into the first stitch, it feels like you're going into the side, but that's not what's happening. You pull it in and you've made an absolutely gorgeous circle there. When you start the second round, you only make one chain and you actually work a treble right into the same spot that you put the slip stitch in when you ended the round. So what that does is it once again gives you that vertical, almost vertical stitch that you're going to work into. When you've come around, you'll work into this vertical stitch here to end your round. And if you look at what that does is, you can see where the round begins and ends, but if you had to finish this off in a classic way, which most crocheters will know what I'm talking about, you'll have these funny little gaps between the beginning and the end of the round, and if you work it the way I've just demonstrated to you, you won't have those gaps. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you was what we do at the end once you've worked a whole round of slip stitches, just to finish it off nicely. And the other thing that you do is this magic ring. You just put your thumb in there and pull it super tight, and it closes that little hole there. And then you can, just to make sure that it doesn't come undone ever again, you can just double stitch it around in here, just for a little bit more security, and pull it nice and tight, and maybe one more little stitch around, pull it nice and tight, and then you can just snip that off right there. Now for the top, there's what's called this invisible finishing off. So I will just demonstrate to you how to make that look good. So when you have your last stitch worked and you fastened it off, not with a knot or anything, you go under both legs of the next stitch along, like this. Let me just get the tail out here. Can you see what we've just done? We've just worked that half stitch there. Now To make it look the same, you want to flip it over and just into the back leg of the last stitch, you pull that tight, and you'd be pretty hard pressed to see where the beginning and the end of the round is. Flip it over to classically what's the wrong side and start to just weave the end in quite securely. This is quite a long end that I've left here, sorry. I kind of go diagonally and like that. You can keep going for more, and then once you feel like you've securely sewn it away in all directions, you can snip that little tail off as well. There we go. And when you look at it, I just want to show you something. Can you see it's kind of folding into a little bit of a bowl shape? That's what the slip stitch does. Now, if you had to work that too tight, you'll notice that it flips up completely like this, and then it becomes ineffectual. But what it does do is it kind of hugs your fingers when you work with it. I've seen many of these scrubbies that have a handle over the back, but I feel if you have that handle, you can't really use both sides. So once you've used the one side, you can always flip it over and use the other side. I hope that helped a little bit with the pattern, and that you have a good looking scrubby when you're done. Thank you for watching. Bye.